Thanks for choosing North America's leading wheelbarrow manufacturer. This step-by-step video will help you quickly and easily assemble your new wheelbarrow. First step is to lay all of the hardware and parts out and make sure you have everything you need. Take a 5.5-inch long bolt, push it through one of the front holes toward the front of the tray, and then through the front of the poly riser. Next, take a 2 3/4-inch bolt and do the same thing, pushing the bolt through the rear hole of the tray and then through the back of the riser. Repeat to attach the second riser. Now take a handle, making sure that the grip end of the handle is toward the back of the tray. Carefully place the handle over the exposed bolts and rest it on the riser. Again, repeat for the second handle. Now we're going to start building the undercarriage. Take a leg and notice the hole that's in the middle of the leg. Make sure that that hole is facing toward the back of the tray. Carefully place the leg over the exposed bolts and loosely attach using 1/2-inch nuts. Once you've attached that first leg, repeat the process to attach the second leg. To assemble the leg brace, simply place the leg brace against the back of the legs. Use a 3/4-inch bolt, push the bolt through the leg brace, and then use a 1/2-inch nut to loosely secure the brace. Please notice when you're putting the leg brace on, you want this folded part of the leg brace to be oriented toward the bottom of the leg, and you want the rounded part of the fold to be facing toward the rear of the wheelbarrow. When attaching the wheel guard, simply place the wheel guard over the front of the handles. Using an 1 3/4 bolt, push the bolt through the wheel guard, then through the handle, and loosely attach with a 1/2-inch nut. Repeat this to attach the other end of the wheel guard to the other handle. Again, making sure that you're pushing the bolt through the wheel guard first, then through the handle, so the threaded part of the bolt points to the inside of the wheelbarrow. Now, take your 1/2-inch wrench or socket and completely tighten the wheel guard bolts only. Leave the rest of the bolts loose for now. When attaching the axle brackets, notice there's this small metal tab that sticks down from one side of the axle bracket. You always want to be sure that that tab is facing to the outside of the wheelbarrow. Place the axle bracket on the bottom of the handle and push a 2 1/4-inch bolt up through the handle and through the axle bracket. Loosely fasten using a 1/2-inch nut. Take a second 2 1/4-inch bolt, push it through the other hole in the handle, and again, loosely secure with a 1/2-inch nut. Now it's time for the wheel. Take your axle and push it through the wheel assembly, and then take one of the plastic spacers, push that over the end of the axle, and then slide that end of the axle into the axle bracket you just attached. Once you've done this, take the second spacer, slide it over the other end of the axle, take your second axle bracket, slide that over the end of the axle, and then using 2 1/4-inch bolts and 1/2-inch nuts, repeat the process to attach that second axle bracket to the handle. Now push the axle brackets toward each other to center the wheel assembly in between the handles. Once you've centered the wheel assembly, use your 1/2-inch wrench or socket and fully tighten all 4 axle bracket bolts. After you've tightened the axle bracket bolts, use your 1/2-inch wrench or socket and fully tighten the remaining bolts, and the assembly is complete. That's all there is to it. You're ready to go. Thanks again for your purchase, and enjoy your new wheelbarrow for years to come.